KeeN in the chat to let us know who you want to support, to let us know who you are cheering in this grand final of the WardiTV America's Open. It's been a week-long event. Cham played all the way back in Group A when he finished second in his Group 2 alive, but he doesn't have to worry about him anymore because he was knocked out by KeeN in the semi-finals, who won his group just on Friday. Let's see who's going to take that grand prize. 50% of our current $545 prize pool. We can still raise that up through Match Arena if you guys want to support. But without any further ado, let's introduce our players. Let's get this series rolling. To the top left-hand side, our Blue Zerg from OSC Elite. Give it up if you're cheering on Cham. And his opponent down to the bottom right-hand side, the Red Terran player. Give it up for KeeN. So Von Schleyer in the chat, how are you doing? What's up, Corvus, as well? What's going on? Let's see those hashtags coming through. Let's see who you guys are supporting in these early stages. Spawning pool coming down after the hatchery and gas here. Early game for Cham on Abyssal Reef, our first map of this map pool. Our full map order will be Abyssal Reef, followed by Catalina and Interloper. Then Odyssey for map number 4. If it's not 4-0, map 5 will kick off as Ascension to Aya. Map 6 will be Acolyte. And if we get an ace match in this series, if we were so lucky, it will be played on Mech Depot. How do you enter the giveaway? The giveaway entry will be described when we set it up. It will be later on in this series. It will not be right now. It'll be between some of the games. We'll be during one of our ad breaks or so. We'll set it up and get it rolling. As we see the first root from KeeN poking across, we see some love in the chat coming in for KeeN. Some hashtag keeps from Von Schleyer, from Corvus, Larry Dame as well. Hashtag Cham coming in from NM Sense. Port, Raj Raiden, Chris Infected. Oh, sorry, Chris Fected. Is that Faith SC as well? I see in there with the white name. Pretty sure you're the only person with a white name and the year-long sub badge. I can never tell though, god damn it. I hate these white names on the white background. Hashtag Cham from Size Zero, Eggs staying Chami as well. Hashtag Cham from Sonny888 from Hard Revenge. Finally, we get some more KeeN love coming in from Hepzibah and sorry, I admitted that Hepzibah D2 and Rapofi in the chat. Cham, the heavy favorite, those 6238 in the chat so far. Keep those hashtags coming in, guys. Want to see who you are supporting. Want to see which players you're showing some love to today. As KeeN opens with a very fast free CC for game number 1, setting himself up into a strong economy in these early stages. So strong economy being set up from KeeN off the back of what's actually going to be 4 Hellions. Nowadays we don't really see all of the time 4 Hellions. Sometimes we just see a couple of Hellions early and sort of going from there. So sometimes you just sort of see a couple of Hellions and then into kind of a few more. And then in towards kind of the reactors, etc. already. This is just going to be, you know, a bit different. 4 Hellions, and then into the double racks. A bit more kind of old school. A bit safer as well, though, having 4 Hellions instead of 2. I mean, it's a very minor difference in the grand scheme of things. The follow-ups are still going to be very similar. So we see extra gas being taken, that stim coming through. And we see, well, already, actually, 5 drones going down. Cham, 9 workers going down, and these Hellions are only just getting started. 12 workers killed. Okay, he's going to get 15, I think, here. No, he doesn't get the final shots off. Oof. Okay, 13 workers, though, for the first 4 Hellions. KeeN will be happy with that. Although, he is free CC, right? And so, I mean, this works in 2 ways. A, kind of not great, because now he doesn't have any map control at all, and he won't have for a while with the free CC build order. Big benefit is, of course, though, he's making a lot of work, because killing off 13 early on for Cham will slow him down heavily, continuing on through the game. What's up, Von Schleyer coming in with the cheer 1000, saying go, go, KeeN, cheering on the Terran here in this series as 1-1 upgrades will be starting up on either side of the map at the same time. Thank you so much for the cheer 1000. Getting some woody hearts in the chat, please, for Von Schleyer. Appreciate it, man. Another 1000 health. Slashed away at on Port, our bit boss. You're going down, Port. You're going down a lot faster than I thought you would, I'm not going to lie. You're going down. Alright, Roachron started up here as well. Cham going to play the Roach-based playstyle. Maybe expected when we see these double upgrades with a missile upgrade involved in them. As you are going to be seeing these few Zerglings just sat on over to the right. Setting up, getting rolling. Going to see the third CC of KeeN. Going to be coming down into location now as well. And a few more Marines of KeeN just gathering on up in this position to defend that. There's only a few Zerglings out. Not enough to really take advantage of those Marines just sat on the low ground waiting to be surrounded. And so for now, KeeN will be able to take this without too many further issues. The 1-1 upgrade is about halfway done. Going to see the Armory coming up in the natural as well, ready to switch up into 2-2. Nothing from KeeN so far is slowing things down or anything along those lines. He's building up another reactor here on this factory. Might see a switch away in towards a tech lab once he realizes the roach commitment from Cham. Tech lab on tanks are going to be much more effective than Widow Mines against those roaches. They have bonus damage against the armored, and even if they morph into Ravagers, they're just going to help hold off backlines, or hold the backlines much better than Widow Mines, which can be picked away at by a distance, by corrosive bowels, so much easier. Even, I mean, tanks can get taken by corrosive bowels, right? But tanks can get taken down by bowels, but even Widow Mines are even easier to get taken down by mines because they are generally meant to be in front of the army, and so they're more exposed to that ranged-based army of the Zerg player. Tanks are just so good against those roaches. We see at 7 minutes the first two medevacs loading up, and this is the first real pressure past those Hellions for KeeN. As we're going to be seeing the medevacs coming in towards the center, going to be unloading in a few moments' time, and going to be looking to try and push back some creep initially, an overload kill or two. General pressure here from KeeN, looking to see what he can get up to. That overload going down, and again the Marines, well, gathering themselves up to push on forwards. A few Lings here initially. I mean, there is roaches up as well, but obviously not as mobile as the Lings, not able to come right to the front. So you're going to see Marines just splitting up a little bit, get that active tumor. As he sees the roaches, it should be a lift up and leave from KeeN. Shouldn't really need to stick around any longer. And again, just picking off tumors like this, just slowing down the creep spread. It gets rid of some of the Zerg presence on the map, and it strengthens the Terran's position for the later stages. Now drop towards the fourth as those units were coming over to the right, and KeeN starting to multitask here, going to force Cham to multitask himself in terms of defending. And at the same time using it just as an opportunity to clean up more creep spread. A couple of drones going down, grabs the overload, making the most of the opportunity, loads up and really very well continue towards the main base here to keep pulling these units all over the place. We've also got the drop coming in towards the natural Cham. A roach in position, but only one, a couple more just not quite there in time to help out properly. Too much more damage actually being dealt here by these medevacs. But again, there's still potential, especially as we see Marines now unloading in the main base. But again, I have to say, Cham seems to be dealing with this very effectively so far, putting himself in good positions around the map. As those medevacs, one of them goes down. Over in the natural, still a few Marines left over. Only up to 5 workers killed, but also good information gained by KeeN. He sees the infestors coming up, and so he knows how this is continuing on. And we've seen those Queens as well from Cham able to actually still be here. And I think this is a bit of a mistake by KeeN, perhaps dropping this Widow Mine. That medevac should have been targeted and taken down, perhaps. Those Queens busy targeting the other medevac still. As we're going to see this Ravager just gets picked off. But again, a lot of KeeN's Marines getting picked away at here. And so this continued pressure cannot keep up forever, because KeeN just does not have enough units, and he has been losing a lot of those units within the drops. Trading effectively, trading fairly decently. Workers, resources lost is even, so there's not bad trades for KeeN. It just means he can't keep up the pressure as he has been doing, and he will have to. Well, now he's going to go for a bit of a larger straight-up push. 2-2 going to be finishing on either side. Do you see Cham starting to head in towards his hive tech behind this? Uses one of the fungal growths on a medevac there. I'm not sure how much I agree with that. He's only got 2 infestors. This infestor with 1 fungal growth on it is the only fungal growth available right now. And when you invest money into that, is it really worth using one of those fungals on that medevac? Not too sure. Only 2 workers killed over here by these 2 Widow Mines. Nicely dealt with by Cham. He's dealing with the pressure very nicely as he throws down a Spire, looking for his, another kind of option here in his hive transition. So looking for more options. Those rocks now going down too. We are going to see 2 more medevacs from KeeN coming up the right-hand side. And still those Widow Mines going to be going off again in this mineral line in a moment or two. Actually going to be going off in the overloads. That's what soaked up one of these mine hits before. Now 10 workers killed. You're not going to be seeing the roaches and Ravagers. Enough to push the main army back, however. KeeN will not be rushing into that engagement. It's always better to have more than less against these roaches and Ravagers. In the sense that, in terms of even numbers of supply, if you have, if it's maxed out versus maxed out, it's better than 160 versus 160 for the Terran player in this sort of scenario against the roaches, because they do just work well in lower numbers. However, Cham going to pick up a few units from KeeN out on the middle of the map, and there's those Widow Mines getting picked off, and that's why those Widow Mines are not super effective. They get picked off so easily, they're very exposed. They're always in the front lines rather than the back lines, where the tanks are, and so even though they are exposed and vulnerable to biles, they generally get some good shots off before they get picked away. And just, again, the damage done is just so much greater by those tanks onto roaches than the Widow Mines do as well, as you are going to be seeing. This medevac still trying to fly around. But I have to say, as an Infestor gets picked off here, other than that, Cham's been having a very good game. And again, the drops were nice, but he cleaned them up very effectively. And he's maybe cleaned up enough now to have a good fighting army to continue on. Because his Hive was fast, his 3-3 comes in at the same time as a Terran player, so no advantage being taken there by either. As you're going to see a little bit of a stim forwards. Those creep tumors going down very swiftly here over on the left-hand side. A lot of those tumors getting picked off nice and quick. And see roaches coming in from the south side. The biosims once again. These infestors will burrow. Obviously, some fungal growth on top of those medevacs would be a fantastic way to work around things right now. As you're going to see those medevacs going up in towards the main in the next few moments. More medevacs coming along. Obviously, the infestors don't have fungal growth, otherwise a fungal and bile combo on those medevacs would be so deadly. I love the fact that Cham already preemptively brought half of his army to the main base, though, to deal with this here. And he's continuing to fight this very effectively. Corrosive Bars again will force kiting away the fungal growth that does land, only hits one medevac. It goes down very quickly. Now 2 medevacs to the natural, as KeeN is going to keep it going. Straight on in, we're going to be seeing the Widowmine burrowing once again. The Greatest Spire going to go down just as it's going to finish up, and what a shame that is. Wow, 5 Broodlords do begin to morph those, so at least Cham going to get some of these units on the way that he wanted to invest into. There'll be something to work with for the next few moments, so he isn't just stuck on Roach Ravager, which could have been maybe a bit of an issue. Obviously, though, 5 Broodlords much easier to deal with than 10 plus, as we're going to be seeing this hatchery taking some damage as well. Still KeeN all over the place. It's actually insane. We've been talking about drops since the kind of 6-7 minute marker, and they're still ongoing, and it feels as though they've never stopped even for a moment. Brood's going to help to clean on up now as we see Cham losing another Infestor or so. I mean, what a chaotic first game of the Grand Finals. Units everywhere, trades everywhere. Infestors being picked off here and there, medevacs falling, Marines not making it back home. Roaches and Ravagers just throwing their lives away to defend bases. It's been absolutely crazy. Cham's still maxed out, but being kept on a very low bank because he is having to keep on trading so far. You can see that resource loss throughout all of this is still so even. 10k to 10k. And that is crazy impressive from both sides after so many consistent trades. Medevacs load up again. KeeN really enjoying these larger drops. They are difficult to deal with the Roach Ravager. You got to send quite a lot into position, and of course, it's not super fast, and so moving away, like relocating with those roaches, it's a little bit slower than if it was Slingbane or so, and so it is difficult to deal with these larger drops because you got to commit so much, and it takes a while to get there. Nice to him in, gets another high energy Infestor. Little pickoffs like this are definitely helping KeeN out a lot, and we do see that KeeN is going to force Cham to make 5 new Infestors, but obviously they have to still build up their energy to be super effective here in Game 1. 14 minutes in on Abyssal Reef. Another scanner. We're going to be seeing a creep tumor going down. Going to see these spores. Going to get picked away at as well. Going to see some drones pulling back over to the left side. And, well, pushing forwards. Roaches, Infestors, and Broods will start to push away this Bioforce. Just going to be seeing the Vikings coming in. Obviously, he has been able to build up a good number of Vikings, considering there's only 5 Broods because of the Spire, and Greatest Spire was killed earlier. And we're going to be seeing, actually, the Spire that was rebuilding got cancelled as well. I didn't notice that, but that's a huge deal too, as KeeN taking a bit of a better fight now, having picked off those Broods, and he's in the main base. The Spire still building up once again. I'm not sure where exactly it is, but I think the 4th hatch might be in some trouble. No, reinforcing Roaches. We're going to start pushing this back. Vikings picking away Overlords and whatever they find in the skies, and Cham again is able to defend, push this away, and just about hangs on here. He's defending the main base at the same time, and still a back and forth one here 15 minutes in. Finally, new Spire about to finish, but Cham barely even has the money to invest into your new Greater Spire. That said, 127 to the 80 army supply, a 40 army difference, as you still see units coming forwards now. This Bioforce setting up from KeeN once again. And Cham. A large push. The first time we've really seen Cham being aggressive. We've not really been on the Terran side of the map at all. Planetary Force will obviously help you on the 5th base. Some fungal growths and bile combos. Actually doesn't really have the biles on top of those medevacs that just got fungled there. Some biles on the bio-fungals now. Cham is a bit afraid of committing into the planetary though, and rightfully so. I guess I would also be afraid of just counter drops once again. He's been dropping KeeN all game long. I wouldn't be surprised if he was still dropping right now. That's a great way to stop or punish the Zerg player for being out on the map. All this pressure from KeeN has its benefits. The creep spread is almost non-existent here from Cham past the bases, as KeeN lands his main base orbital and an aggressive or into another base towards the upper right. Liberator's starting to come into play. The Corrosive Bars not reaching their targets on those just yet. And Cham is pushed back again here for a couple of moments. Planetary Force taking a little bit more damage. A fungal growth comes down. More corrosive bars being flung up into the sky as Bio continues to drop. Another Marauder goes down here as well. Another one too. And we are just going to be seeing this Bio Force of KeeN still trading. Liberators in a bit more of an aggressive position now. The Biles are starting to connect and the Liberators have gone down. There's still fungal growth being utilized here and there. They find a few medevacs. They're slowly picking their way through them. The corrosive bars trying to do what they can also. These infestors so exposed as the scan comes down. 2 of them with energy left do fall. A couple more going down as well. 120 to 110 supply. Cham and KeeN still throwing everything at each other. But KeeN, interestingly enough, holds the better economy now. And so throughout this, he's still building more and more. Going into some ghosts as well. Getting set up for the next Broodlord transition here in the near future. If Cham can even afford it, he's throwing everything into Roach, Ravager, and Infestor at the moment. Might not be a bad idea considering Libs and Ghosts or that kind of higher tech set of units, which don't help too much against the Ravager Infestor, although an EMP onto the Infestors would be great, and he hits the EMPs! No fungal growths to worry about. Oh, nice corrosive bars though. Liberator and a couple of medevacs there as the Bio kiting backwards and forwards. Might want to still try and fight with the Planetary Fortress at this point. May have to sit back with this. Again, KeeN man from this upper right hand base, and that's a huge deal as well. Cham only on 48 workers, and that is again a big deal now. KeeN slowly starting to get himself in a better and better position in this game, especially with the fact that he just has so much to work with. Planetary Fortress here again, taking some shots from those corrosive biles. You're going to see a couple of roaches starting to go down here. So many units from Cham as we see corrosive biles into the sky once again. Dropping down, not really connect on too much as the Liberator's siege. They're going to start picking their way through Ravagers and all the rest of it. But they all joined up together, and so the Biles once again connect true, and they connect well. Planetary Fortress just survives. A new Infestor has thrown down a fungal on just a handful of Bio units to stop them from pushing forwards. Biles again, medevacs dodge away, some SCVs are not as lucky. This Planetary is still being kept alive. It's on life support, it feels like. It's been repaired so heavily and so so frequently throughout these engagements. Now KeeN back on the drops, and he's immediately going to find a kill on the 4th base and a fresh Infestor. That's a huge pickup. Oh, it burrows, but I don't think KeeN was paying attention to drop a scan. Meanwhile, he's still pushing forwards at the frontier, and Ravagers are starting to drop. What a push in. Obviously, there's not any Infestors to worry about with energy at the moment, and he's going to grab himself some very nice pickups, and the Infestors go down. That is huge as well. You're just pulling back over to the right then as we see Cham retreating over to the left. More Ravagers are getting set up and rolling here now as we're going to be seeing these units in the top coming in, and KeeN back on the offensive front after Cham has taken that position for the last few minutes. Scan comes down again. Roaches, Ravagers gathering themselves up. Infestors are also coming on forwards as we see this orbital lift up from the natural. I mean, this orbital's working out wonders so far. It's not the usual sort of thing you see in a TVZ. An orbital in a position out here like this, being successful, not being harassed. But Cham has just not thought about it. He feels that this is such a scrappy game that maybe KeeN doesn't even have an opportunity to be up there. Fungal growth wasted as KeeN pulls away. Based this beautifully. The MP lands, but not really on the Infestor. I think he hit one of the Infestors there, and there's the last fungal available for now. I mean, it is a fairly successful one, but there's just so much more Bio coming through. The splits are good to avoid those Biles, and now Cham may be in trouble once again. KeeN's being cautious. He won't just run into Biles here. He doesn't want to give up an advantage he knows he holds. We're going to be seeing just the lack of eco here at the end from Cham is going to really hurt him. The resources lost is still very even. It's still good enough for Cham if he just had the economy, but he lost a lot of drones during the drops early and he never replaced them. Instead, he chose to go for the army and to push forwards aggressively. Snipe's coming down to work his way through these Ravagers. A fungal comes in. Honestly, a scan would get rid of so many Infestors right now. Is actually those Biles maybe going to help to turn this Bio Force away for now. Will buy Cham just a little bit more time if those Infestors are still alive. Well, I guess a couple more goes and a bit more Bio coming through once again. Corrosive Bars catching medevacs as they retreat on through the Corrosive Bar pathway. Bio stims in once again. Still these Roaches and Ravagers pulling back all over again here. Corrosive Bars land. They don't connect on too much. Just a medevac or so. This Roach now going down as well. Roaches and Ravagers gathering up in the center. KeeN still pressuring, still rallying units forwards. He has an orbital to the south side, to the right side. Those extra bases are so crucial for him here. Meanwhile, Cham not on enough drones. Still saturating these bases. And not oversaturated anywhere because he doesn't have enough workers. He needs more. And that's the issue. He hasn't ended the game with his army. And it comes down to economy, an economy Cham doesn't have, and still pushing on in here. KeeN is able to keep on picking away through these roaches. A couple of infested Terrans pop up as we see the last few roaches going down. This should be game being called. KeeN takes the first map of this series in 21 minutes, but hot damn, did it take him to see if Cham can tie things up, or if KeeN will go 2-0 up in the best of 7. To the top side of the map, a red Zerg player representing OSC Elite, it's Cham. Far left side, the blue Terran player, KeeN, up by 1 in this best of 7. The votes are close, 55-45. Cham is the favourite in the chat, but he's down by 1. Can he come back to fight for you guys? Keep those votes coming in. Sorry, the players have switched colours here from when we set up the votes, so I do apologise for that. Maybe a bit confusing. Fun game, awesome, says Raysoro in the chat, and I can only agree. Back and forth, decisions were made. Crazy defense. The fact that KeeN was dropping for like the first, we were 12 minutes in the game, we're like, wow, this game was crazy. 6 minutes of constant drops and defenses and yada yada yada. It went on for 9 more minutes where the game was just continuous action. I don't think there was like more than 30 seconds in that game where there wasn't a fight going on. Really crazy. Really, really crazy, I have to say. Game number 2, guys. What we thinking? I think Cham takes this one. This one is KeeN's map pick. Picks Catalina here as map number 2. So the map picks, the way they work. Abyssal Reef was Cham's map pick. KeeN then picked Catalina and Interloper. And then map number 4, whichever it was picked by Cham once again. He was dropping. It was just Hatchgas pool again. No pool first shenanigans just yet here today in the ZvT. As we do have the link speed starting on up. A fairly regular timing. Nearly at 1,500 views as well, by the way. Awesome to see. Again, this event has gone above and beyond expectations in terms of viewership and so on. I mean, when I set this up, when I started running this event, I was a bit skeptical about running it. I thought it'd be okay, but maybe not too great. And I thought, well, at least it's something to stream for the week. But it really has been, it's blown us out the water, I think. And it's been a lot of fun because of it, as we do see this Reaper moving around, looking to see what's up, and we'll be coming in towards the mineral line. Grenade goes down. Some drones are going to get blasted off away to the sides. Keep them streams up, brah, says a layer. Yo, we've been streaming a lot the last week or so. I mean, been streaming on my channel pretty much every day. Been casting on WSG every day. It's been a busy week. It's going to be a busy week coming up as well until Monday when I go away to BlizzCon. There'll obviously be a little bit of downtime, but until then, it's busy, busy, busy. Keeping ourselves active. As you do see this Reaper just poking, prodding, pushing this KeeN around. Gonna be hopping up in towards the main base again, and a few Zerglings just gonna come in and start chasing it. Reaper just gonna escape there. And the Ling is not quite gonna catch it again. Not just yet. Wouldn't mind drop gonna be setting up with the Hellions to potentially run by at the same time in game number 2. Cloak coming up as well, so a Banshee follow-up you would imagine in the next few moments. Otherwise, just going to be coming in and, well, being hidden over the side. The medevac will lift those up in a moment or two. Again, just keeping away from the Overlords, just scouting in. We'll see if the cloak is going to be real or not, and it looks that it will be as the Banshee's starting to come down in the main. Medevac to the top left then, and we are going to be seeing KeeN going to be coming through the top towards the upper right, try and get some damage done. At the same time, the Hellions will try and run by, and again, that's what's dangerous about this. You distract with the Hellions with the initial run by, and at the same time, you strike with the Widow Mines, and if Cham isn't paying attention, there can be some very quick drone losses here. And as we're going to be seeing the Hellions moving forwards. A couple of drones transferring, get caught there out in the open. Hellions going to come up and maybe focus on the third base as their run-by location. There's Wonderman number 1. Cham, no response. That's a huge hit coming in. Oh, only 4 workers, only 3 workers. That looks as though it's going to be a little bit more substantial. Second Widowmine as the Hellions kite away, and this one's going to be fairly decent as well, and that's actually 6 more workers. Cham, some messy plays here already here in game number 2, has not responded well to the initial Widowmine drops. Jiva Chambers coming up in the natural expansion. Again, first Banshee is out. He's actually going to save the first Banshee. Wait for 2 Banshees at the same time to move across. Meanwhile, going in towards Stimpack. Reactor will start to building up here, and we are just going to be seeing the, again, the extra barracks just getting set up. 4th rack's being built, 5th rack's will probably come down on the tech lab, maybe? I guess so. Some seconds going to be moving forwards. The Banshee squad, the 2 of them going to move on out. The duo Banshee going to move on over to the right-hand side. A few drones going down here already as Medevac play continues. Medevac will get shut down at least. Small victory for Cham here. Okay, I'm just going to see these Banshees going to be looking their way through a couple of workers. 5 workers, 6 workers right away. 1 Banshee quite heavily damaged, but both still alive, so potential for more here as we see KeeN can already start establishing this 3rd base up towards the top side. Banshees are here from KeeN and will be moving around again to try and do a little bit more. There on the way up on the natural. 1-1 missile upgrade coming through the burrow. Coming in as well. I'm a little bit worried about Cham dealing with kind of a follow-up attack here of the Terran player, just because he did lose those 10 workers early. I see Marines loading up, and we're already going to see a little bit of pressure going to head in towards the main base. And look at this. I mean, this is what's so powerful about Catalina. Just going to load up on the 3rd base and drop in towards the main. So quickly this drop comes across as we're going to be seeing the Queen. Just going to push this back. And the Chief Banshee's looking to see what else is happening. And again, Marine's just going to start to load on the edge of this creep, and he will start to push the 3rd. But there is Roach Ravager here. Looks good enough for now. And we'll see this time KeeN is going to go into siege tank production rather than the mines. I think that's a much better way to go about things than... I mean, just again, in general, it's very widely appreciated or accepted that tank production is the way to defend rather than Widowmine production when playing against roaches. So KeeN going into what we kind of maybe expected the first time around, but he never went for. We'll see how powerful it turns out to be for him. 3 base against 4 for now. These Banshees, I love the fact they're still alive. Moving around, and you know, you never know when you might find an opportunity to pick up a roach or 2. Ravagers, for example, right now, a couple of Banshees come in and they actually help to pick off a Ravager there during the fight. You've seen the 2-2 upgrades coming in as well. 2-2 coming in for KeeN also. He's actually set up a lovely tank on the low ground, by the way. Hard to attack into, but obviously corrosive viable if the Ravagers can actually reach. And right now, Banshee's intercepting as the Ravagers move on over. Love that. Already 1 Ravager picked off by them, and they're just in general adding damage on as they go. Again, these Marines will generally want to pull back now and in towards the siege tank fire. And look at the damage the tanks are doing as Cham is losing a heck of a lot. There's the biles on the first tank. There is a second tank now here. And actually, Cham will push this back. I was actually loving this fight from KeeN, but Cham just seeming to overrun there towards the end. Nicely done. More Marines gathering on up through the top side. A couple of scans coming down. KeeN just looking to see what's going on here as the lair starts to morph into a hive. That is a nice catch from him. Gives him a bit of a countdown as to the sort of timings in the game when Great Aspire, etc. might be expected. Maybe gives him some timings where he might be able to attack in. The other thing is as well, it means he knows there's an infestation pit up. And of course, knowing that there's an infestation pit up means that he's, you know, he's aware of the possibility of infestors as we saw in the last game. Marine goes down. As you see the medevacs loading once again, going to come up to the top side here, +2/+2. Going to be finishing from both players at Hive. About 75% of the way done here. The Queen pushes the medevac way up towards the top right. Still more scans coming into place, as we're going to be seeing some creep tumors going down as well. Nice pickoffs here by KeeN, again limiting Cham on the creep spread. Big difference from this game to the last game. You know, right from the get-go, KeeN hasn't been dropping as heavily and as hectically as on Abyssal Reef, and you can see that Cham, because of that, has much better creep than what we saw on Abyssal Reef, where it was more or less non-existent past his initial bases. Interesting little thing to see, just how the game plays out differently based on how different how the players change things up. How certain decisions have repercussions later on. Fungal Growth, surely catches a few of these units, but actually doesn't really have the follow-up to fight. Just used it as a way to keep those units pinned back for a little while longer. Tank's still pushing forwards. Bio's available here, and here we go, the Bio. Ooh, where is the Bio? Why is it all up here? Well, he's going to lift up and go towards the main, or is he? Of course, the Bio's missed the first medevac with units inside, and the other medevac's going to get in towards the main as well, so big drops coming through. Some target firing from the Queens, but they're going to start dropping as well. I mean, KeeN gave up some siege tanks to do this, so he needs to find some real damage, some real value here in this main base, and he is starting to find something at least. I mean, you got rid of the Queens. Now I guess you'll lift up and back away again, but has to be so careful of further investors, although I love this. The army of Cham was pulled into the main, and now KeeN reinforces at the third, and at the fourth, sorry, and as he reinforces at the fourth, he brings his medevacs from the main back into the fourth as well, and that's beautifully done here, as you're going to see a Liberator getting picked off by Spore and Corrosive Biles. KeeN, I love the ideas and his movements of the army right now, but Cham is just a bit too good still, and he is still continuing to defend very nicely, and well, again, another nice move from KeeN up into the main base. Which is still from here. Cham chasing those few units down, and they will lift up and back away towards the upper right corner. Great Spire about halfway done right now from Cham here. You'll be seeing the Liberators, Bio, some tanks. Moving through the top side as well. Looking to see what the opportunities are going to be. Medevac's coming in towards the back of the third. Still just trying to pressure in multiple locations. And this time, Cham going to give away the fourth base, it seems. The workers pulled away very quickly there, realizing he wasn't in position. Spore from before goes down as well. He has got a fourth base building again to the bottom right-hand side, so he can transfer over here, but it's not ready yet. So KeeN does something finally to properly slow the Zerg down. Broods are on the way up, though, and as those Broods come into play, I think KeeN might have a few more issues, a bit more trouble doing kind of a little bit more, kind of doing the more what she's aiming for. We've seen his own fourth base is set up. Surprised though, it's just his main base relocated. 30 minutes in, no fourth CC actually built just yet. Obviously the weakness of that is it means he's got two exposed outer bases. Without there being a planetary fortress here, it is very exposed and it could very well hurt him. These two medevacs coming down towards the lower left and through the south. Looking to see where they can go. Looking to see where they can go, looking to see what they can do. Plus one flyer attack's on the way up as well here from Cham now also. Corruptor on the way down, another hatchery being built now towards the next few moments. Again, the Broodlords are going to be the real issue. Cham is starting to make some, KeeN is starting to make some Vikings. There's only actually 4 Broods and 1 Corruptor at the moment. It's not too crazy as you're going to see this drop coming down. If nothing else, it should be able to find a bit of a trade against these spines. Drop for the most part denied, and again KeeN just playing patiently as he builds up. The issue is for his composition. Broodlords are very good against tanks because the tanks will friendly fire and waste shots, and it'll be a bit of a mess, but the tanks are still somewhat necessary to stop the surge of Roach Ravagers pushing on through and overwhelming him here in the early stages. Here's game 2, guys. One heck of a series we seem to have on our hands between KeeN and Cham. First game was a long 21-minute marker game. Second game is starting to head in the same direction. Very different scenarios though. Cham in much better control of the game than he was on Abyssal Reef. In a much stronger position in his economy. This side of the map seems to be fairly safe, and also the Terran player not going too crazy with expansions of his own compared to what we saw before. KeeN going to throw down the inject. The space is back up here to the top side. You can see another couple of medivacs loading up and moving out. Mostly Viking production. There's actually no medivacs in this army right now. They're all on the map ready to drop. I do like it. It means that if, Cham pushes, those medivacs will hit in with some counterattacks. It is a fairly slow-moving army. And obviously, at the same time, he's got a lot of Vikings, I have to say. There's only 5 Corruptors and 4 Broods. It's not that much in the skies. I actually think these Vikings have a fairly decent chance at potentially breaking through them here. Medivacs in the main going to get caught by this Infestor. What a fungal growth that is. That's 20 supply. It disappears instantly. Well, it should be. Misses the battle should have done a little bit more. The battle should have picked off both of those Medivacs. So that Medivac, very fortunate. I mean, very fortunate to be alive to the point where you can even see that I think even KeeN expects it not to be there anymore. He's going to move it forwards, realizing he still has it though. Man, that Viking guy is just so scary. And again, Cham's starting to give up this position. There's a fungal growth available. Oh, he gets the Vikings! So many Vikings getting blown up right away. Meanwhile, drones are going down. Finally, this drop down bottom right is cleaned up. I mean, these Marines here picking off some Evo chambers. I mean, that's not too big a deal. Cham going to start rebuilding with Corruptors, although a lot of them building on this base. We'll see if he could cancel a few of these. It'd be nice in terms of taking another fight in the near future. 6 Vikings currently being made at a time. And these Corruptors still just popping out and seeing what they can do. +2 flyer attacks coming in on the Greater Spire now. 8 Infestors being added on. And again, the +3 armor of KeeN finishing up over in the main base. Cham continue to expand through the south side as these northern bases just keep getting picked off by these very powerful push forwards of the Terran. No medevac, and that is something to keep in mind here because he's had to build so many Vikings. Medevac count is hurting. The Infestors on the way up, but they're not here right away. You'll see those Vikings will be able to split up hopefully this time, not land walk into a one single massive fungal as they get ready to keep on fighting. Crossbow bars coming down. That's the fungal on the tanks. Here we go. Vikings are spreading but not committing just yet. Spore Crawl in the front doing some damage. Will get taken down. No, not just yet. Meanwhile, an army to the south side of some Marines had to get rid of that base we just saw building up. I mean, Cham being limited to the bases he can take. KeeN going to take bottom left base now as well. Another scan sees the army still set up over here. Vikings are going to start moving forwards. And here we go, spreading out nicely. Corrosive Bars will land on the Vikings that aren't even fungled. Well, that shouldn't really happen. He is going to cancel the upcoming Broodlords, which is nice. His Vikings to the side. Canceling a bunch of those there and could be able to kite away through those from those Corruptors. Again, this army down here did its job, picked off that hatchery, but now still being pushed away.
Couple of Vikings bio tanks.
Setting up here for KeeN, still in a very forward location, I have to say. 5 Broods, 6 Corruptors coming on in, and well, still need these Vikings to stay spread out. Extra Broodlords starting to finish on up here. He's going to cancel one of them. The other couple are going to finish, and here we go. Big fight that really will determine a lot of how this game goes. The tanks firing onto the Roaches, I have to say, is very nice. And I think one of the issues here maybe for Cham is so many of these Infestors are just not really having the energy to actually really join in the fight. He'll clean this up, he'll push this back. Reinforcements on the way over for the Terran player, but arriving just a little bit too late. Cham also has money in the bank, which he needs to spend still. He's going to start spending it now. Going to rebuild this base. Spine Crawler's bottom left. He actually adds on 8 more drones as well. Cham's starting to fall into a similar issue. He's starting to fall into similar issues before, where with only 40 to 50 workers rather than 70, his income is at a disadvantage, and even though he's trading much better than the Terran player, it's not every day I say this, but even though the Zerg is more efficient than the Terran, he's not in that great a spot in terms of the army, etc. It's actually crazy. Like, I can't really believe this, but it's actually like the complete opposite, the complete 180 of a TVZ usually. Usually the Terran player is a bit more efficient, a bit more effective, but they have less economy than the Zerg, and so the Zerg can stay in the game. This game is the complete other way around. The Terran player has been trading less effectively, but has more eco. Quad drop to the south side. Love to see this doing some damage, of course. Get me moving around, seeing where I can go. A few more Corruptors on the way up, a few more Medivacs on the way out. And these units still just going to be gathering themselves together. There's that big drop in the back here. I mean, he's just going to pick away a bunch of drones. This many units don't really care about Spine Crawls to a large extent. You know, see Infestors run down the fungal. The scan comes down. Can he target some Infestors, perhaps? And he gets the base no matter what. At this point, KeeN, I think, is sort of looking at his bio units as being fairly expendable. And that is 3 medevacs units, but at the same time, pushing in towards the natural, he's going to find a Corruptor or 2, some more Marines. He's actually finding some really good damage here throughout, just little bits and pieces around the map. Corruptor's going to arrive up here, but there isn't a medevac for them to clean out or anything. Going to target down the infestation pit. Great target, of course. Get rid of potential further infestors added on, especially at a stage of the game where Cham can't really even be affording to rebuild structures now. Vikings setting up again here from KeeN. Still see a couple of medevacs down to their south side. One of them very low. Unloading, getting ready to rumble. It's Bioforce of KeeN coming down the left side as well, looking to see what it can get up to. Looking to try and spread out, looking to hit in from a couple different directions. These 2 medevacs load up, and we are going to see a scan. Just going to see that base starting to rebuild. And maybe that's KeeN's plan to try and hit that there where it hurts. Runs in at the same time towards these spines with these units. And that's nice as well, you know, it makes, you know, Cham choose or split his army as to how he deals with and what he deals with, you know, prioritize what he deals with here. Meanwhile, the Viking count has been ever growing. Still only +1 attack on these Vikings. I feel as though that's something KeeN could have invested more into throughout the last few minutes. Corruptors give up finding and hunting the medevacs just as they were about to run into them. How unfortunate can you be? Big push to the top side. Cham so focused on the south that if this army comes up into the main or something, I mean, these structures aren't too valuable anymore. Maybe the hive, but could do it maybe a bit better. You know, I'd love to see just a couple of Vipers. I know Cham's short on cash, etc., but a couple of Vipers against, you know, this many Vikings, I think would go a long way. Even if they get taken down, by the time they drop a parasitic bomb or 2, they're already finding some real value as KeeN continues to expand through the south. He's got this base up top. And this is an issue as well, I feel. I feel like KeeN is, you know, could be, you know, I feel like this eco of KeeN could be denied a lot better because he's got so many orbitals just around the map. And we saw it in Abyssal Reef as well. He won the game a lot of the time because he had bases that were orbitals, just mining that. In a lot of ZvTs, I feel as though you would usually see punished really quickly, but which we haven't seen Cham punishing at all. Spawning pool going to go down. Not a big issue. I mean, link speed is the only thing we've really seen from that whole game. Not being playing Zerglings at all. 22 minutes. The second game here on Catalina, longer than the first. Some biosim in ahead, although the tanks obviously going to start friendly firing quite heavily. The Corruptors are going down. I don't like KeeN's fight on the ground here, honestly. He needs to do more in the skies before he's going to be successful elsewhere. This medevac's going to go up as well. And Cham is going to be pushing this back. This group of bio is still in the main, just working its way through this hatchery. Will get taken down. Probably can't find anything else to pick off here just yet. Now bio to the south side, and again Cham on 26 workers. He's got one hell of an army, but as soon as it dies, he is not going to be able to rebuild it, and that is the issue. As Cham is still just struggling along here with what he has. His army is scary, it's terrifying, but again, all KeeN has to do is kill it once, even if it takes him multiple of his own armies. As we're going to be seeing the push across here. Going to see what else will happen. Corruptor's going to find this bottom left base. Finally, something being done to slow down some of KeeN's economy, but is it just too late? I mean, now the Corruptors are being shown aggressively. Maybe we see some turrets here and there. It only takes a couple of turrets to realistically be scary enough to push those away a lot of the time. Cham's still pulling it over to the right as KeeN gets ready to max out for the third or fourth time in this game. Let's look at some of these graphs. Well, there's the income, and that's what we were talking about. Cham, without the income to stay in this throughout, you can see, you know, at one point he had a large army. It was a very good trade by KeeN about 5 minutes ago. And then since then, well, I mean, KeeN's just taking advantage. Big loss there for him, but again, because of the income lead, he can get away with it. A drop in the main gets rid of this hatchery, just stops further production. Slowly picking and chipping away at the Zerg structures and game plan. What's even left on the map? A Rotron and a Spire? Well, I guess that's all he needs for now. Obviously, the Greater Spire is dead, so no more Brutals can come up here, and there's no Hive. The MPs missed the Infestors somehow, because those Ghosts just not quite finding their targets. And scan it again, still a lot of Infestors mixed in underneath. It's actually very hard to see those. At this point in time, you're going to see the Vikings again splitting up. They need to split up because we saw earlier just how powerful they are. If they don't, oh my god, corrosive pal fungal combos They are pretty deadly, those combinations. I have to say, it's crazy how much they can do. The Vikings are still around, though, and they're still picking their way through all of the Corruptors. And now those Brood Lords will start to fall as well. And as these Brood Lords go down, the Vikings just spread up to make sure the Corrosive Bars are just ineffective, essentially. You know, have to use multiple Corrosive Bars to get the most out of this. And now there's only 3 Broods left on the map. Viking count will, you know, increase again very quickly once more. 88 army supply apiece, and again, really looking as though this game, number 2, is in control by KeeN. What a series we have on our hands for this grand final today. This is absolutely insane. KeeN and Cham throwing everything at each other. Is going to see that Evo going down here as well. I love KeeN scanning around, realizing that there's not many more bases around, realizing, okay, I've probably got this in the bag, I just need to keep playing it out. KeeN showing us he deserves to be in this finals after taking down Alive in the semis. He has not had an easy route, KeeN, he really hasn't. But, well, his TVC looks absolutely stellar so far. Some very hard-fought games. Just needs to take one more fight. There's still 105 army supply here from Cham. It's still a scary amount. You see these Brood Lords, though, a little bit on their own. I love the fact he stopped producing Vikings, probably realizing that there's no more Broods coming out here anytime soon. He's actually making a few more, but he kind of did take some time to make some extra medevacs, which will definitely be the better help throughout this. We're going to see big EMPs on the Infestors. Now there's not going to be any fungal growths. Now it's just Roach Ravager against Biotank, and that is not going to end well. GG, well played, says Cham. KeeN takes game number 2. And let's see what's going to happen. Top left-hand side, Blue Zerg. From OSC Elite, it is Cham. He's down 0-2, but he's been playing some crazy games. Very interested to see what he can make happen in Game 3. As up 2-0, of course, here. It's our Red Terran player. It is KeeN. That pronunciation... Yeah, I wasn't going to pretend to be able to announce the name. I wasn't even going to try it. God damn it. God damn it. What? I missed it by 2 seconds. No, all good. No! Alright guys, let's see how this goes. As we go to game number 3 of this series. Again, thank you all for tuning in so far today. What great finals we've got underway. 2-0 lead here for KeeN in the best of 7. Again, I will be, if you are the winners, of course, I will be sending you the codes in Twitch Whisper after the stream. Just don't want to mess around with getting the codes up while I'm streaming, because knowing me, I'll fuck it up somehow and show them on stream, and I'll get in trouble, and Blizzard will never give me anything to give away ever again. The unofficial SC2 esports account is done by multiple people. Sure, but Kuro does a lot of the tweeting. Does a lot of behind the scenes work in StarCraft 2. I think Fear Dragon stated a good description was one of the most maybe underappreciated and behind the scenes StarCraft 2 community figures. Which is true. Nice to see a win. Anyways, let's get into this, guys, because it is a factory-based opening, so we'll see what KeeN's going to be aiming for here in the early stages. Reaper, of course, going to start dancing around. 6 Zerglings, obviously just being made to help defend against this Reaper and to kind of take the damage rather than drones. Better to lose a Ling or 2 than a drone or 2, and just keeps him fairly safe. A few drones on the way up, and we'll just see how this continues on. Wow, Wardy. What did I say? Did I say something bad? Rude to fans. God damn it. God damn it. Have you seen this Reaper setting up? Link speed on the way in. Going to be finishing up in a moment or 2. And you're going to be seeing a few more workers just on the way up. The SCV going to be coming through. Starport lands down onto the tech lab here. And you're going to be seeing the Raven coming on in as well here for KeeN. Can you get one since you never got that badge? I said I sent you a yo-yo. You never got the badge? Oh shit, dude. Hit me up in a whisper. I'll sort something out for you. I can't give you away one of the BlizzCon codes because I can't pick and choose who I give them to. But I'll sort something out for you, man. Don't want to fuck you over by not giving you something you want. I mean, the badge is kind of a bit crap now because ZvT improved doesn't exist, but I'll send you something to make up for it. I promise. Send me a whisper. I'll get it sorted out. A couple of Hellions here just going to be coming in and just going to be poking away on that third hatch. Going to be seeing the Viking on the way up as well for KeeN. And this Raven from KeeN just going to be starting to move out onto the map. So Raven moving out, looking to see what's happening. Just going to be seeing these few Hellions gathering themselves up together in the natural expansion. The hashtag votes have kept on going through as well, by the way. It's now a 52-48. There's a close one in the chat. Cham still the slight favorite, even though he's 0-2 down. Keep sending him your love, guys. Maybe it'll be what powers him up to turn this series around a little bit, because he really needs to do something a bit different to start fixing himself here in this game number 3. Interloper for game 3 of this. We're going to be seeing the Rotrons just over halfway done. A couple of barracks are building. The stim pack starting to build up too in the third CC. Everything's very standard from KeeN as he continues to play the bio styles here throughout the series. Not playing much mech at all. Viking and KeeN just going to work his way through the Overlord, and he'll be able to pick up the kill there. A few urges on the way up from Cham, and we're just going to be seeing Lings as well on the way out. Getting ready to go. It's actually going to be a very aggressive attack from Cham then. He's not started his Evo Chambers. He's not going to play the macro game. He's going to play aggressive. He's going to play all in. Currently a Viking coming over. We'll see. Oh, double auto turret on the Lings. I mean, the Hellions are going down. The thing is, the Roaches are being hidden away for now as well. This Viking is maybe the one opportunity to see these Roaches, and he's going to just... I think Cham realizes he can't just hide these Roaches for too much longer, because he's never going to come across the map if that's the case. That Overlord going to be pushed away over to the left-hand side. Roaches still pushing through the center as well. Some Zerglings also here, trying to see what they can do. A few creep teamers still coming up to the top side as well, and just going to be seeing the units from Cham going to keep on pushing forwards. +1/+1 upgrade is going to be finishing up for KeeN very soon as well. Now as we're going to be seeing these, this tank going to be brought a little bit further back into a bit of a safer position. These bunkers are about to finish. Can KeeN get into them? The Lings have just ran themselves into such a choke point right away here. That's already painful. And the fact that we actually still see these bunkers alive is pretty crazy. One bunker gets picked off. SCVs will pull in, going to get us around on the bunker. SCVs won't really mind about dying here. I mean, it's all about just surviving this attack. Cham droning heavily behind this as he will deny +1 attack and +1 armor. Denying that is obviously huge here. But of course, I mean, he doesn't have upgrades of his own, so it's something he almost has to do to stay in the game with this all in. Still units to the top side as these SCVs repairing once again. Marines will stim forwards once more. Roaches are dropping all over again. Still Marines in the bunker. The tanks now starting to really fire away on those Roaches, though, really starting to gather themselves up. One tank falls. Not many Roaches and Ravagers left, and of course Cham has not been backing this up with more units. Instead, he's been droning up to 63 workers right now in the game. I love this. Continue to pull those Roaches back in towards the bunker every single time he starts to fight KeeN. Just playing this nicely, playing this slowly. Just gonna see. He needs to just protect this orbital, though. It's a little bit of a nuisance. That was another 7 workers going down to those couple crows of Bowels. All the turrets as well just finished these off. Finally, KeeN has broken through this army, but suddenly Cham is up at 80 workers. 1-1 upgrade starting up. Yes, the 1-1 of KeeN won't be too far behind. As we're just going to be seeing the Marines loading up into the medevac once again. This was KeeN's map choice as well, by the way. What we did was, again, Cham picked the first map, KeeN picked the second and third, then Cham picked the fourth and fifth, KeeN picked the sixth, and then the 7th map was the one that remained. Marines still pushing forwards. You're seeing another Roach actually just catching, being caught there in the center. Going to see the 3rd CC. From KeeN also setting up down to this south side. A couple of tanks, the Marines gathering up together. And, well, Yeah, I mean, Cham's gotten himself into a good position to play from, but it's not exactly too crazy an advantage. I mean, obviously there's this big leaping kind of income lead. Resources lost is slightly favoured to KeeN though, and the army supplies right now are fairly even as well, so it is that sort of position of the game where KeeN will be, it's playable for KeeN, even though Cham is up on 4 bases, etc., and kind of looking pretty good with his work account. Still upgrade lead to, I guess it is maybe slight advantage for Cham, maybe did a bit too much here. Roach is still moving through the top side. He's going to see the Hive starting up right now from our Zerg play as well in the natural expansion. These 2 medevacs going to be coming down here to KeeN. Looking for some damage just to try and maybe slow Cham down just a little bit at least. As you're going to see, Stim will get rid of a creep tumor or 2 that are active in the front. Some roaches pushing forwards, but too many Marines here to realistically push back with that many roaches. The Overseer going to be chased away though. Oh, doesn't quite catch it. Pneumatize Carapace pretty good. Oh, it comes back in for some more pain. He doesn't like his life. He wanted to die. And it goes down. We're just going to be picking off this Overlord. More roaches gathering up top side. 2 spine crawlers are being thrown down as well. As we're going to be seeing another Ravager morphing in. 3 more Infestors on the way up, plus 2 Carapace being produced as well now. KeeN without the armory is not able to go into 2-2 just yet. Building a 4th CC already. Not able to find an aggressive opportunity so far as these Marines going to be unloading from medevacs in the center of the map. Continue to set on up as you're going to see some creep tumors going down. I love the Raven, by the way, obviously. Was introduced earlier in the game, but it's a great way to just pick off so many of these creep tumors. He's going to take advantage of it, taking down some creep to the left side now as well, as he knows the army is still on the right trying to bust through. Let's find a gap in this depot wall. There's enough units here to protect this. Maybe some friendly fire kills. Nope, not even that. As these medevacs load up, back away again. The one scary thing is maybe these Infestors, of course. They grab a fungal growth from those medevacs and they will go down. But now the army over to the left, and KeeN is in the upper right. And the creep is just being denied all over the place. I have to say, KeeN's multitasking today has been so on point, and he's continuing to play absolutely brilliantly here. There's a fungal as the Biles here to follow it up. Next fungal coming down. Biles will drop. Maybe can just get away. No. There's a cleanup on those medevacs. Nicely done, but did cost 2 fungal growths, which is 2 less fungal growths available for the main fight now, as this main army from KeeN starting to push across. Interloper, so powerful for siege tank play. Corruptor's on the way up, the Greater Spire being built, but it's not ready yet, and that means the Broods are not going to be ready for this push. What a great timing for KeeN to attack into. Will be attacking with an upgrade disadvantage, though. That's one thing to maybe keep in mind. Here, some tanks starting to siege, some burrowed infestors. That fungal could be... Oh my god, it's going to be disgusting. I don't even want to look. Oh, it's disgusting. No bile follow-up, though. As you do see some roaches to the left side getting hit by those tanks, being pushed away. Greater Spire coming up. The delay tactics for Cham, just the threat of those infestors, is sort of working for now. As we see KeeN going to push himself up into this position. He's starting to build Vikings, realizing that Cham is continuing to build towards these Broodlords game after game. And he's realizing Cham's play style, and he's starting to play a little bit more predictively against it. Another scan comes down. Concussive shells coming up, 2-2 on the way from KeeN. Still behind on those upgrades, but could catch up here. We don't see a +3 Carapace, for example, starting just yet. Bio will sim forwards again. It's the infestors with the fungals that are so scary, because when you're pushing forwards with a clump of units like this, you push forwards with too few units and you're not going to do anything against roaches. You push forwards with too many, and then when they're clumped up, you're not going to have a pretty time when the infestors hit the fungal growth. Love this. An attack to the side allows him to break through a little bit here, but there's that fungal we're talking about. That's exactly what I'm saying. Marines getting destroyed there in just a matter of seconds, and the Brood's about to finish. Might be time for KeeN to unsiege, go home, and give this game number 3 a break, a breather. Get ready to go again in a moment or two. So next time he goes, he'll have a few Vikings on his side. You'll see all of this bio of KeeN continue to come down to the south side of hatchery, and the upper right as well continue to be set up here, establishing further economy for the next stages of the game. South side we see KeeN planetary fortresses up, and a couple of command centers building up as well right now from our Terran. There's 2 medevacs of KeeN coming in towards the main base, and again tanks have just sieged Vikings in the sky, Bio out the front. Still just setting up into this. Roaches and Ravagers. Gonna see what they can do as you have a fusion core also coming on down. Tech Lab gonna start Corvid Reactor. I like this because honestly, I think Raven play is one of the things that's been missing against compositions of, you know, like Cham has been using here. I think Pokebunny was missing it the other day. I think Cham in his group stage, he played against Alive and... Who else did he play in the group? He played against Alive and... oh, no Terran in the group. I seen it feel as though we've had a couple of Zerg matchups where the Terrans really could have just done with Ravens, though, to start fighting against the Corruptor Broodlord force a little bit more effectively. This drop was so effective. Picks up this hatchery and should be able to boost away before being caught by Corruptors or anything. And you see done here by KeeN. Oh, he's going to be still in reach of those Corruptors. One of these Medivacs will go down. He'll begin to unload and trade with some of the Roaches at least. Dodges the Biles. One of the Medivacs survives it. Another big push up the left side. KeeN, extra CC is being established. Extra barracks being built. Starports 2. Vikings still coming up. Pushing in towards the center. It's going to be such a large army from our Terran, but does he have enough to fight against the Zerg? 8 Corruptors and 8 Broods, but there's also the free fungal growths available on the Infestors. That would be so scary, and amongst all of this also. There's Tank Siege, and Cham realizes he's going to have to start finding a reaction to this. Find a way to fight. Scan ahead, he's going to see just a few units going to lead the charge. Maybe looking to try and pick up an Infestor kill or so here, wherever possible. Vikings are ready to jump on top of those Broods if the opportunity arises. A couple of tanks just go down so quickly, and that's what's so scary about these Broodlords. Again, those Vikings are clumped up, and that really is going to be one of the bigger issues here. Using that point defense run will soak up some of the Corruptor shots. Tanks going down, extra Vikings arriving. Where's the fungal growths? There they are, and the Biles on the Vikings again are just so powerful. Man, those Biles are insane every single time, I swear. These Vikings just clump up for a moment. It's a fungal, it's a line of Biles, and everything begins to die for the Terran player when it happens. Few Broodlings going down is going to be seeing the rocks will get cleaned up. Push potential now in towards this planetary fortress. Cham looking for his first game win of this best of 7. It would be a 1-2 scoreline. If KeeN was to come out of this victorious, you're going to see those Broodlings dropping down. Planetary fortress being repaired on up. More corrosive bars coming into play. You'll see the Bio simming forwards here. The Vikings in the sky not really in high enough numbers anymore, and KeeN might not have enough here on Interloper to make this work. He's starting to push it back. He is keeping the planetary fortress alive. You're going to see more Biles. Vikings might have to dodge away. The fungal growth drops, though. Makes that difficult. Infestors still dropping fungals. Vikings still trying to work their way through Corruptors. In the end, the Roaches and Ravagers are still making progress through this army. And KeeN does not have very much left at all. 42 army supply. And that's going to get very low now as the Medivacs keep on dropping. GG. Cham gets himself on the scoreboard after game number 3. We have a series. It all goes to the players. In the top left, our 53% chat favorite, the Blue Zerg. Give it up for Cham. Representing OSC Elite. Bottom right, our red Terran player is KeeN. Game 4. It's a best of 7, not a best of 5. Some really crazy games. I mean, we haven't had a game under 16 minutes so far. See how this continues. Hatch gas pool opening here from Cham. Again, set up and rolling. Overlord's moving out. Sorry, my phone charger isn't my friend nowadays. Overlord moving through. CC building in the natural expansion. Just taking a moment to catch my own breath and just taking a moment to chill out because these games are insane. Action throughout. it's weird because I actually feel out of all the games, this was the one where we probably saw KeeN being the most well set up, but it just didn't matter. He didn't shut down the eco of Cham. Without the eco being shut down, Cham is way too powerful. We really, really, really need to see, I think, the Terran player KeeN. He really needs to be so much more careful with his Vikings. Because game after game after game, he is getting himself into a position where actually he has enough Vikings to fight, but they're so clumped up that 1, 2 fungals and the biles make them disappear instantly, and then he has no answer to Broodlords or Corruptors. Queen pushing forwards and that Reaper just patrolling. Grenade goes down and Queen comes back to dodge it. Nicely done for so far. Link speed 60% of the way done. Standard opening, standard game for Game 4 on Odyssey. Not seen any surprises so far. It's oddly quiet, says Colin S. Lots of people just sat watching the game, man. It's not that quiet. Chat's pretty active today. Just not spamming mindless shit like you see in a whole bunch of Twitch streams. But you have a somewhat decent Twitch chat here. If you're new, it's kind of nice. So Queens is going to be poking away. Hellions obviously just going to try and slow down the creep spread, but Cham going to sneak a creep team over to the left side. It looks as though it is going to be able to come up here in the next couple of moments. 10 Zerglings being made, as we do see again. The Queen's just pushing the Hellions back. Some damage now. Very valuable. If they try and dive in, they're much easier picked off in that situation. Free CC is going to be the setup here from our Terran. Wasn't a super fast free CC. Comes down now. Off of 2 gas. Raven on the way up. So just Hellion Raven as the opening. Viking early on as well helps them to get rid of this Overlord. So Overlord does go down. And that's going to be good for now. Stimpack starts as well. KeeN's still showing us he wants to play this bio play game in and game out so far. Did he kill anything with the Reaper? Nope. Nothing has died just yet. Queen's pushing away. A couple of Hellions and the Reaper going to get pushed back through the center. Engineering Bay is still just building up here now from KeeN as well. So Engineering Bay is coming on through the CC. The third one is about to finish up, morph into an orbital, and everything looking again so standard. No crazy stuff here early game. Viking looking for its third Overlord kill and might very well get it. There's no transfuse available this early in the game. Queens have been spending their energy on creep tumors and injects, and the Viking takes just 1 shot before turning away. Another Overlord up here. He could probably poke his way through. It's already pulling back as the Raven will try and get in position. And the Viking does indeed come on over. It's actually a long way with our creep spread for KeeN to come to protect. So probably a 4th Viking kill now. There's the Raven not going to use its auto turret just yet. We'll save it for a later opportunity when he maybe feels there's more potential damage to be done. Just going to be seeing the Viking pulling back then, and we are going to see another Overlord under fire. Man, these Overlords are taking quite a bit of damage so far. It's going to be the 5th Overlord kill on that Viking. As now the Hellions using the Raven for detection, picking away at a couple of creep tumors. That has been a very solid start from KeeN. Who now, more Marines coming on down in towards the natural, gathering his units up. Getting ready to roll. We'll be starting to drop as the first 2 medevacs come out, of course, and we'll be starting to look to clean up creep spread even further with those. An auto turret here going to help to fight these Queens. A grenade blasting them back, and he actually does miss the initial transfuse. Tech and Queen goes down as well. Wasn't that a bit of a shame? Raven stays alive, 1 Hellion drops, but 2 Queen kills, not bad at all. Viking coming over to the left. Going to see the 2 full medevacs now move on forwards. Look to see what they can get up to. So again, looking to drop down, looking to deal some damage. 1 more upgrades will be finishing on either side. Combat shields starting up right now as well from the Terran player. And again, the melee upgrades, a big change up from Cham here. Not going to play the roaches for the first time this series. And change things up on Odyssey. You'll see a few Lings starting to go down. And this is where these Marines start to trade quite nicely. The Banes, no speed on them for actually quite a while here. Lings coming across. This isn't an all-in, right? I mean, he's got 66 drones, just no less, 7.5 minutes in. As we do see a big run by into the main, and Natural and KeeN lets those Zerglings all the way in. And that's a bit of an issue. You're going to see more Queens getting picked off here as well. 8 SCVs starting to drop, but the 4th gold base will go down. And KeeN over here needs to pull his Marines back, but he's not paying attention. He sees it now. He will get away. 12 workers lost in the main and Natural, and some lost mining time. Man, if he shut down that run by, this would have been very good for him. I mean, I think it still is. I don't understand why Cham is playing without a lair. He's got so far to play here with Pureling Bane. There's Reapers, Soaking Banes, that's fantastic. He's got so long to play here with Pureling Bane, no 2-2 upgrades, no Bane speed. Like, I just don't understand the idea for Cham behind this Massling Bane style with no kind of follow through. It's too late to be an all-in, right? And that's my issue with it. It's too late for it to be kind of a committed all-in or something. And this might be a nice counter-attack here. A lot of Banes coming up as the entire army of KeeN just push through to the left-hand side of the map. It's not that much though, it's just a few Banes, some Lings as well. Depends how fast KeeN sees it and reacts. You'll see the Lings now perhaps. And he is just not going to be able to lift up in time. He might be able to lift the main base depot though. KeeN not reacting at all. Is he actually just going to pull back home for this? He's actually going to pull back home. Wow, what a play that is. Well, that does give Cham some opportunity to do more damage than he should. I mean, not more damage necessarily. He's going to do the same amount of damage. He might obviously clean it up faster. You can see here the reinforcements have cleaned it up, and KeeN, I guess, just pulling back home because so he didn't have to pay attention elsewhere at the same time. It's still going to be a huge timer window where it'll be 2-2 against 1-1 upgrades, and that's where KeeN really can strike very powerfully. And as we see him pushing out once more, a few more Banes coming in. KeeN just needs to sort out these run-bys, stop them from being so successful every single time. As KeeN, again, gap in the wall, no raised depot, because he's standing on the depot to try and block it with bio units, but he just doesn't have enough there to actually make it work. Now these Banes are in a little bit of trouble as they're going to slow waddle in towards these Marines. They're going to get 1 or 2 Marine kills, not really that many. 6 more SCVs going down. This time KeeN's still in the center of the map. He still has a minefield, by the way, in the middle of the map too. A Raven here also. As we see these mines picking up a lot of kills as Lings move around to set up another run by, this time towards the 3rd base. KeeN really needs to just tighten up a little bit. If he did, he'd be in such a better position. Well, 2-2 is about to kick in, so he's still got a big timing attack on his hands. Let's see what he can make happen here. Bane's morphing on the high ground. Let's just see for now. A few Marines are pushing and trying to see what they can do. Load up from the low ground though, and if the rest without the rest of the army here, it's difficult to justify pushing in. Bane speed will complete then. And again, it is going to be the 2-2 upgrades now finished though for the Terran, which will maybe make the biggest difference of all. A few Marines and a Widow Mine or 2 actually getting picked off though by some Banes now that the Bane speed is done. Hydralisks on the way out now as well. KeeN still leads this by 20 supply. He's also up by 40 army supply, and that is so powerful. And that is maybe one of the most scary things about the current situation. Raven still here to add the detection without needing to scan. He's cleaning up the creep and pushing in towards the upper side of the map. A couple of creep units going down again, and KeeN feels that he should be more of a lead, but did make some mistakes. Cham, some nice counter-attacks, some nice run-bys to set up there. As here we go. Well, this will be the moment of truth as we see Cham. Well, he does nothing to the south side. I don't think he's going to have anywhere near enough to push through the top side. Not a good time to attack from Cham. 15 seconds out from his 2-2. He could have waited. He was not in an immediate position where he had to push, where 15 seconds would have made much of a difference. All the turrets coming down as this base will fall. These drones are going to try and pull away. They'll take a lot of damage in the process. And KeeN again is just doing so much here. Out on the map, looking wonderful. As you're going to see him turn into fight again. Some Lings and a couple of Hydras taking some hits. Widow Mine setting up once again as well as pulling backwards here with Marines. Starting to take some really kind of terrible shots from these Widow Mine's friendly fires on some Banes, but reinforcements are on their way. And KeeN should be able to push on through to take this to match points in this grand final. A few more Balins, this bio still stemming forwards. These Widow Mines burn themselves as well. And again, a few Marines going to lead the charge here. The Marauder's going to be in the front and start tanking as well. Nice kiting backwards. Widow Mines coming off cooldown, getting ready to engage also. Maybe KeeN changes the direction of his attack to the left-hand side, clean up this gold base, which will of course be a great way to go rather than just attacking straight up through the center. A Lurker Den on the way. If he could get some Lurkers up, well, maybe there's a chance, but I just don't think KeeN gives him the time to set up into Lurkers. You're going to be seeing Cham again, just couldn't understand his opening. Why play slowing Bane 1-1 upgrades for so long without committing to a committed all-in or something? Like, it would have even been better just all-in off of a Bane speed, you know, get that lair. It just didn't make much sense. And again, the run-bys made up for it a little bit later on. But I mean, again, they were trying to bring him back in the game. If he had those run-bys when he just played a normal opening, gets the lair on time and stuff, you know, if he plays it then, it's such a different scenario. KeeN is actually somehow here brought down to similar armies. How is this happening? Cham, some very good fights for a moment or two, and well, KeeN has actually only got 2 medevacs, so I guess not a lot of healing coming onto this army either. Maybe Cham can push this back. He's actually ahead in supply for the first time in a long time. The medevacs are just completely drained of energy here. A few workers going down as here we go. The Lings will charge on in. The initial Widow Mine starting to go off, and we're going to be seeing Marines obviously splitting backwards to escape the Banes. More reinforcements coming through. It is still a bit too much, it seems, for KeeN. There was a moment of hope there for Cham. It looked as though he was starting to do very well. And actually, still, he got rid of the medevacs once more with the Hydras. And this army is still very low. Maybe to the point of needing KeeN to pull back and to regroup a little bit. I do think just pushing up this same direction isn't giving him anything. He could be pushing towards the gold base with much greater effect. I mean, he's even let this base come back up over here, which, considering he's right here, you know, he shouldn't be letting happen. And now Lurkers are going to come into play, and without siege tanks, if these Lurkers go unscouted and, you know, KeeN walks into some burrowed hold position Lurkers, maybe this is actually going to be possible. Maybe Cham can make this work. I just don't know how he stayed alive before. But, yeah, we'll be seeing these Lings just going to be coming back up the right side. Still just continuing to move around here. Burrow on the way up, 4 more Hydras, infestation pit dropping down from Cham. KeeN pushes forwards and, well, he still has a lot of bio. I'm still afraid about the fact he didn't start up siege tank production. Just don't think he expects Lurkers at all here as a player, although they are out of position. If he scans ahead to see what's here, no, you're going to see the Lurkers now anyway, so now he knows about them. He'll scan, he'll see. Well, you'll just kind of attack where they aren't, I guess. A good way to deal with it for now. Cham has so much gas, by the way. He's morphing in even more Lurkers at the moment. Plus 3 attackers finished up, so an upgrade lead again here for the Terran. No missile upgrades on these Hydras, something which Cham is missing out on, which could make them just a little bit more terrifying. KeeN stimming forwards once again. Some Lings doing some damage, and we're going to be seeing, well, the Lurkers are 1 or 2 of them in position here. KeeN going to pull back, not going to be overly aggressive with those Lurkers being in play. Oh man, those Banes, they didn't do too much damage, but then the last couple got at least a little bit of a decent connection. You're going to see some units for some reason load up in this medevac. KeeN needs to start unloading those, get them into the fight. I like the position KeeN's put himself in. It's a position where he's going to, well, first of all, kill his Lurker Den, which means no more Hydra production or Lurkers, but also he can fight away in towards the gold base, which is some very important damage. Meanwhile, Lings try and run by. I say try. They've killed 11 SCVs, but 7 drones have gone down in the process as well. KeeN, again, gold base killed off a little bit late. I mean, it's actually mined out, so really not too big of a deal from Cham. The fact that he's been able to mine that out is huge for him, as we're going to be seeing KeeN. There's actually not anything over here to defend these Lurkers. KeeN's army is just a little bit low on health, though. The medevac's drained of energy once again, unable to keep this bio at heavy, at higher health points that we're expecting it to be at. Some Lurkers harassing, but a scan and bio will clean up easily. No Banelings right now from Cham, which is strange considering he has so much gas currently still in the bank. Bio still collecting up together, another scan to the right side. Still some Zerglings of Cham coming down the left. Seeing where they can go. You're going to see the Lurker going to get picked off as well. And again, these Zerglings still pushing down in towards this southern base. A few SCVs going to come in and get us around. Well, get surrounded. If you're talking from the SCV's perspective. Cham. And lose a couple of lurkers, that's something you can't really afford here. 17 minutes in game. KeeN was dominant in this game early. Let it slip away, but still seems to be in somewhat control. Just needs to find the final couple of fights. No banelings, and I think without the banelings, you just don't have the splash to push through this. Maybe that's what he's hoping the lurkers will do, but the lings just go down so quickly, especially being behind an entire set of upgrades. And now as the lurkers do fall, well, so much bio was cleaned out, I have to say, that this was not a bad effort. But remember, the lurker den died before as well, and so now there is only a spawning pool and a baneling nest on the map. GG's, KeeN takes game 4, and he's up on match point, 3-1 up. Welcome back, guys. Game 5. And this best of 7 to the bottom right-hand side from OSC Elite, our blue Zerg, opening hatch gas pool as his life is on the line. It is Cham. Playing some absolutely insane StarCraft 2 right now to the top left. Our Red Terran player, KeeN. What a weird game. I'm still trying to think what Cham was up to. Like, no lair, Ling Bane, gets 1-1, but just no lair. So you don't have Bane speed, you don't have 2-2. It's too late in the game to all in with Ling Bane, and Ling Bane with, like, slow Banes when there's, like, you know, 4 Medivacs and Marine Marauder on the map. You know, that's just not going to work. He got back in the game because of the run buys and KeeN's insistency to pull back his army even though his reinforcements dealt with them. And then it got, you know, KeeN got an advantage again, then Cham somehow pulled back a little bit once more, and at the very end it was just messy. The entire game was just messy, really hard and really difficult to tell what was happening. Really difficult to call throughout. Do you set up here, guys? Cham versus KeeN. You can hashtag the players in the chat to show your support. Let us know who you're cheering on. Hashtag Cham or hashtag KeeN. Still a slight chat bias to the Chamster. In game number 5 of this now. Starport coming down from KeeN. Double gas opener again. We'll see exactly how this goes. Marine production. Maybe a Hellbat attack. Maybe a Hellbat attack this time around. Change things up from what he's been going for this time. Get the medevac out. 3 Marines or so. Load them up. Get them across the map. There's going to be a medevac at least, so definitely looking like a Hellbat attack could be the case here. SCV of KeeN going to come down to this low ground. A couple of Hellions and a Reaper here to push some Zerglings. Well, they have pushed the Zerglings back already. And see that Queen still sat at the front as well. What's up, Dark Ones? How you doing? Saying KeeN's got this. Okay, Cham, don't be a sham, says Adamski. Cham, KeeN, says Faith, can't make his mind up. Just wants a chance to spam as many emotes as possible. I get it. Two Marines here are going to work their way through the Overlord, which already sees the lack of, you know, add-on. This medevac is not going to really be able to hide itself. Armory on the way up. Cham, can you figure this out? Right now, no defense, by the way, against this. Just pure ling. No Bane Nest, only 4 Queens as well. 5th one about a pop. And the Queens are starting to gather towards the 3rd base, at least. Armory about to finish here on Ascension to Aya. KeeN with this attack could become the champion of the WardiTV America's Open. It all hinges on this. Well, not all of it, but it is a good possibility, a good opportunity for him. And these Queens alone are going to struggle, I think. The Reaper Grenade is good with the Marine support. This definitely could hurt. Pushing in. The Reaper going to lead the charge. Here we go. Reaper Grenade the Queens. Push them in towards the Hellbats. No! Missed opportunity perhaps. Anyways, here we go. The medevac here obviously will help to heal the Hellbats up and keep them active. Pulls back a little bit to minimize the surface area from the Lings. Lings do be at 1 Hellbat to the side. Wow, what a defense by Cham. Destroys these Hellbats. Don't even know what went wrong there, but KeeN just a little bit of missed micro and some good micro from Cham to take advantage, and boom, just like that, Cham has held this without even batting an eyelash. No worries for him there as a liberator from KeeN will go towards the main. If follow-up attack will come through, Cham has to be a little bit careful about this. There's going to be some more units getting ready to attack when he hasn't really been building anything other than drones for a while. And the Liberator may very well be able to set up here and to force this, set of drones off the mineral line. So Liberator going to be seeing drones maybe killing off the mineral line, and it can also maybe force the Queens back. There's a spine crawler here. I really don't think there's a way KeeN breaks through this with the spine crawler. Liberator sieges. Queen is in range of siege, quite close to this Liberator. It's going to just die, but look at the kills it's getting. 8 kills, 9 kills, 10. Obviously this Hellbat attack continues to the top. Spine working wonders though, and it is going to be another Hellbat killed. KeeN probably could have saved that with the medevac left. Queen still gathering, still seeing what the next stage of it is. Going to be seeing the CC, the orbital morphing in at the front. A few Marines gathering on up, a couple of barracks dropping down. Hydler's then about halfway done here. Going to see the Baneling nest behind the mineral line also starting to drop on down. 4th hatchery will come on up, and I mean we're going to be able to transition here in towards a relatively standard setup from both players. The 1-1 bio play from KeeN, medevacs coming through, 3rd CT being taken as Cham expands to the 4th hatchery. Hydra Bane being his setup now. This time he does have a lair and can look to make use of it. Two medevacs will start to boost on through the center of the map. To the top side, the Zerglings from Cham are going to be setting up as well. Going to be trying to run on towards this 3rd base. We'll hit nicely. I mean, not really enough units here to defend this with the medevacs moving out. And, well, actually, a few Marines to minute apparently it is going to be enough. I don't really agree, if I'm going to be honest. And I think Cham realizing this as well. He is going to be able to come on in and he will clean those up. Meanwhile, KeeN pushing down this side. We'll just get rid of some creep spread for now. A few SCVs did get lost here, but for the most part getting cleaned up. Medevac's going to be lifting up. Backing away towards the upper left-hand side. Hatch coming down now as well here. In a bit more of a forward location. Another hatchery to the right. These couple of spines and spores again set up the stack defenses for Cham for the rest of this game. A lot of money in the bank. Needs to start spending that. He's got that gas bank building up again. We've seen him with just so much gas this series. So much gas this series. Needs to start keeping that spent. Interestingly, he switched into Hydroling Bane just as he found success with kind of the Roach Ravager Broodlord build. Maybe very map dependent. Odyssey and Ascension Dire are very similar maps as well. And so the idea of it being very map dependent definitely comes to play. Run bys, run bys, run bys. Well, these are going to be so deadly when KeeN is not already in a good position. I mean, okay, what's he doing? He's killing off the 5th base. And meanwhile, KeeN is picking off all the minute SCVs in the main and natural. It's huge losses here from KeeN. 17, 18 workers dropping. This push still coming in though, and he is going to kill a couple queens too. Players on both sides making some heavy mistakes here. And really just lacking focus. It's been a long series so far. Maybe that has something to play, especially for KeeN. He's playing currently at 8 AM and he's been playing since 4 AM. 23 SCVs killed. Cham. More Lings coming across the map, looking to keep on attacking. Some Banes are coming in. Oh, just one into the mineral line. Doesn't actually hit too nicely. Wouldn't mind Burrows. Defensive Marines going to come on in as well. Wouldn't mind actually hits. Friendly firing into those SCVs. That makes them very vulnerable. More Marines down the ramp definitely helping out. KeeN actually dealt with this very well, I suppose, considering he still has this push coming in on this other side here. Cleaning out a couple more creep tumors. Bane's... Oh, just I was going to say, has he forgotten Bane speed? Oh! The Widow Mines! Getting huge connections. Marines even getting blown up as well. But the Banes, all of them going down. Not finding anywhere near the kind of value I think you should have been finding with those. Some units through the center, but that's not good. Those Banes are on their own, and off creep, obviously, the Marines will be faster with that stim pack. And Overseer goes down. 2 more Banes are caught. Lings, big counterattack again. KeeN, please, load this depot. Raise it. Stop it from doing this all over again. Okay, this time the attack comes in. KeeN, no! This depot on Odyssey, on Ascension, it's the exact same thing every time. KeeN is pushing. Can he do something here? He's about to be pushing into 2-2 of his opponent, so that's not going to be pretty for him. Pushing into Hydras is very, very difficult. Another 22 workers going down. KeeN is just letting these run-bys do way too much every single time. Splits nicely away from the Banelings, but the Hydras are way too powerful. It was 2-2 against 1-1 as well. GG. And Cham is going to take us to a game number 6. He's not going to StarCraft every single day, all day, every day. We've been casting now for 12 hours. Well, the stream's been live for 12 hours. We did take a little bit of a break for the rebroadcast, but we still casted about, well, 5 hours of this, 4 hours of Go for. Still 9 of the 12 hours we've been casting. It's been a long one It's because of people, because of you guys who support, who sub, who donate, who cheer, who follow, who watch, and all the rest of it. It's because of you guys that we can do this day in, day out. Crazy. Game number 6. A great final we've got here. As to the top right hand side of Acolyte from OSC Elite, the blue Zerg player. Give it up for Cham. Bottom left hand side, our red Terran player. Let's hear it if you're cheering on KeeN. Still on match point. Grey Hawk 4 with the cheer 7 in the chat. Thank you for those 7 bits. Most importantly, critically striking at the heart of port. Our bit boss is getting chipped away at little by little. He's been bit boss for over 24 hours now, but he's almost down. I think he is actually past half health. Good effort, team. Very good effort. Proud of us. Can't have. I mean, if anyone's going to be the boss, it can't be port, right? God, that is scary. Now, obviously, port. Huge donation yesterday to huge donation yesterday. Deserves the bit boss and all the health he has on him. As we get set into game number 6. What's up, Widow Mines? How you doing? How are we all doing in the chat, guys? Enjoying the games? Enjoying the action? Hope so. Link speed coming up to being about halfway done. Reactor coming down on this barracks. Factory starting to build as well now for KeeN. Victory Vegan saying thanks for creating so much content, Mr. Wardy. Well, thank you for consuming it all. Wouldn't make it if you guys didn't want to watch it. Appreciate it, guys. Hashtag appreciate. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice slow start in Game 6. I like it. It's Acolyte, you get the in-base. I like it. Slow start, chill out a little bit. Get the game going. Nothing crazy. Give us a moment or two to reflect on what has just been such a great event. Again, I know I keep saying this, but I really just can't get over how much of a success this entire event has been. It's been, from start to finish, like, just great viewership. I know I keep saying the same things, but great viewership, great fun, great games, great support in the chat. It's really been thoroughly enjoyable, and hopefully you guys feeling the same. Snipe Hunt with the cheer 1000. Get some Wardy hearts in the chat for Snipe Hunt, please. Thank you so much for the 1000 bits. Let's see some Wardy hearts up in here. Let's see some love in the chat. Now that's the sort of blow that's going to kill port very quickly. Hashtag kill port. Hashtag kill port. I'm going to donate myself just to kill port. If I've been waiting for this opportunity for years. Okay, maybe not true. Thank you so much for the tier 1000, Snipe Hunt. Really do appreciate it. Let's see some hearts in the chat for some cheers, some bits. Hellions here from KeeN moving around, looking to see if they can deal some damage. And a couple of creep teamers finishing up towards the front. Not going to be able to deny them here, these Hellions. Double armory. Oh boy. Oh boy, we've had 5 games of bio. Game 6 will be mech. What a change up by KeeN. What a change up by KeeN. He's going to open with this Hellbat push coming forwards. Going to be coming in, looking to see what's going to happen. We're going to see these couple of that's Raven in the sky will help, taking out the creep spread. Queen's here initially, as he's going to start kiting backwards. No medevacs though. Ooh, I don't like that auto turret. Maybe a bit too far forwards actually The Queens will start to transfuse themselves, still cutting back. A Queen getting caught a little bit on that choke point. Here come the Zerglings now. Again, no medevac for healing. And these Hellbats will get cleaned up. But he forced a lot of units out. Wouldn't say this was a disaster for KeeN. Forcing units, slowing drones is one of the main things you look for at this sort of stage. Technical Attack, he was saying, loving the stream, kind of rough to watch in the EU though, always 2RM. Well, dudes, this is one of the rare times we actually cast this late. This is actually one of the only times we've run an American-based event. Usually our European-based events obviously run a little bit earlier in the day for that. We usually focus on European viewers, but this week I've just had some reasons that I couldn't cast in the European time zone on the channel, so yeah. Not always up this late. Not always making you guys watch StarCraft until the early hours of the morning. Although, not a bad thing, is it? Things join themselves up towards the upper right hand side. Queen's going to be continuing to come on out. +1/+1 missile attacks coming on through as well. And you'll be seeing those Hellions still coming up to the top as Zergling will go down. A couple of creep tumors will get popped in. Just some bits and pieces. You see the Raven harassing too. Building up into the mech play, a couple of 4s on the way out. Medevac's being built as well. We'll probably see a couple of those Medevacs with 4s inside shortly to get across the map and to harass and to poke and prod and, again, slow the Zerg down. Stop the creep spread and all the rest of it. As you see, Cham going to be playing the Roach play style to fight against this. Hellions going to push on in and a couple of creep tumors going down already. We'll see another couple of creep tumors starting to fall as well. And again, just pushing back the creep from getting in front of these bases, making it easier to push a little bit. Push a little bit further forward. You're going to be seeing these Hellions gathering to the right hand side. Zerglings coming across down towards the bottom left. A supply depot will just not be placed in time! God damn it. Supply depots for KeeN today are just not his friend. Well, the Hellions were there. He was able to defend anyway. There's the 4s loading up and off across the map we go. I guess with so many Hellions up, you'll probably make this a Hellbat 4 attack. Really commit to a bit of aggression forwards. And the thing is for KeeN, there's no bad trade for him here. Like these Hellions, as long as he gets away with the 4s, which he probably will do because he has the Medevacs to micro, he can use these Hellions so effectively to just, tank a little bit. And, I mean, he's just going to force so many units, it's going to slow his opponent down. Now, this is really bad. The Zerglings going to be catching the siege tanks for KeeN. This is absolute disaster. He'll only lose one of the tanks, but it does slow down the entire push because now the Hellions pulled back, the Medevacs with 4s inside pulled back, and still pushing forwards then. Those Hellions with Blue Flame, seeing what they can do. 1/1 upgrades apiece now. You'll see the 4s still pushing forwards. Some Hellions moving into Hellbats. You'll see auto turrets coming down too. The 4s have dropped. And just going to be seeing KeeN pushing his way, well, pushing those roaches away, but yeah, I mean, he started to fight this kind of very far away, it feels like, he started to fight this from quite a distance, so Cham just sort of kited back for a long time. Hellions now coming up this ramp. Tank still pushing forwards, going to be looking to utilize this little ledge here. Ravages off all the way to the right-hand side. Our Roach is going to pick off reinforcements. You don't usually see a mech player rally pushing like this, and I mean, this is kind of why it's so easy to pick off a few mech units on their own. Mech really works in terms of numbers. As you're going to see these Hellbats. I said there was no bad trade here for KeeN. That was when this was a Hellbat 4 attack. Losing these tanks, etc. This is terrible. I think this is really terrible. He just lost so much. He kills a 4th base. Okay, sure. What does he save? Some Hellbats only? I know. I don't like it, right? These siege tanks died. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not too bad, considering it's still just pure Roach from Cham. Not sure. What's up, BXC? Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate it, man. There's some Woody Hots in the chat for BXC. Thank you for subscribing and joining the family. Okay, and the Roaches and Ravages still moving around. I like the fact these Medevacs stayed on the map, looking for opportunities rather than just pulling back home straight away. Missing a 4 and a few Hellbats at home usually isn't going to make the difference, and the threat of them being on the map is actually pretty powerful, so that's something that's quite nice. Two tanks sieging here. The Roaches on the north side. Planetary not finished just yet. Two tanks will do a good job of maybe scanning those Roaches away, though. In fact, those Roaches are terrified, and KeeN didn't even bother to turn around. Look at that confidence of just pushing over. Well, is he going to try and intercept this army? He's going to see a couple of Hellions, so he knows it's here. He will start to unload, and Tanks not sieging just yet, picking off a few more roaches. KeeN's still pushing forwards. We're going to see Tanks now will siege, a little bit late to siege. Hellbat's dropping down again. Tanks going to be focusing on those Ravagers, but now the blinding clouds from the Vipers on the right side, and that is huge, and maybe now these Tanks will just drop down dead. I mean, obviously being able to close the gap like that with those roaches is a massive difference, as we're going to see all the Tanks going down. Still only 78 to 57 army supply. 10.7 to the 7.3k resources lost here. As you're going to see those units gathering up back on towards the third base. Mark BT with the cheer 500. Getting some Wardy hearts in the chat from Mark BT. Thank you so much for the cheer 500 as well. Really do appreciate it. Some Wardy hearts around for, again, BXC for the Prime sub. Mark BT for the cheer 500. Thank you guys for the support. Hellion still coming through the top. We'll be seeing the attempt to run by, but plenty spines. 3 workers. Doesn't quite get the volley off to maybe kill a couple more towards the end here. Hellbat's morph in. KeeN's still staying towards being maxed out, which I find so impressive considering his ineffectiveness in trades. Ultra's on the way up now from KeeN. He has a lot of the army supplies medevacs, which aren't actually that useful in terms of actually taking a fight. And so that is one of the big differences. Vikings on the way now, something which will help a lot in terms of pushing these Vipers away. I guess Hellbat's actually going to be kind of nice against the fact that Hydras are starting to come out in higher numbers. Such a, obviously, the Hellbat's always nice in terms of tanking, but especially against Hydras, they're going to be able to do a lot more. He's actually going to realize that these Hydras are on their own in this corner. Nice pick off some parasitic bombs from the Vipers. Medevacs spread out to minimize the damage. 1 or 2 might go down. Actually, the other 2 surviving for now. Queen's transfusing these Ultras. We do see roaches from the left-hand side. Hellbat's going to come in to try and help. The Ultras going down, though. Both of them fall that were here already. And actually, suddenly KeeN is continuing to push on. Whoa, he's going to drop a mule? Really? Right now? Really? Is he really winning this? Is this a mistake? I don't even think he's that far ahead to justify dropping a mule, but maybe he is. Maybe he's read this game much better than I have, as these Ultras are getting blown up, in fairness. But this army is also getting turned away. I mean, every single one of these Ultras bar 1 is going to fall here. But the tanks go down again, and KeeN is pushed away. I mean, I just don't think that was like a... I think that was maybe he had his depot selected. So what I think he might have had done there was he might have had his orbital selected, and he might have pressed E to try and siege his tanks, and didn't realize that he had the orbital selected and dropped the mule. Like, I really don't think that was a mana mule. I just can't imagine in what situation KeeN thinks he's won the game going into that fight. Unless he's horribly misread this. I mean, I guess from our point of view, maybe we'd see it a lot clearer than he does, but... I don't know, he's not been dropping mana mules all day, right? So, I don't think it's time for him to start here. I don't know, it just feels so out of place. And the fact there was only 1 as well, you know, rather than multiple. It sort of feels more as though he maybe like misclicked if the orbital still selected or something. Makes a little bit more sense. I mean, maybe he was being BM, maybe he was dropping the mana mules. I just really don't think that was quite the intention in this scenario. Not very often that mana mule surprises me, I guess, but... it definitely was one of them. Vikings, tanks gathering together. We're going to be seeing roaches, hydras, and a couple ultras to the right side. Spreading themselves out. KeeN going to max himself out again. The last fight was much better for him than before. From a 2.5 to 3k resources lost difference, he's now just 2k behind. 5 bases for the Terran. 6 bases for the Zerg. Had to do the math in my head there for a moment. Just going to see those Hellions being pushed away. Tank siege. Nope. I love the Vikings in the sky to shut down those Vipers. That's going to be so key here. Get rid of those Vipers quickly. Stop them from being able to throw down multiple abilities. We're going to see one going down pretty quick. Did get its energy off though. Tank's a little bit late to siege here. A lot of tanks very late to siege, but there's no blinding clouds. SCV's replaying the planetary. I think the 5th base will fall. A lot of damage done though. Cham's army disappears. As we're going to be seeing the force coming over to the right hand side as well. He wanted to scan, maybe. If you wanted to repair, I think if you wanted to repair, you would have actually used it. It was just sitting around there. I don't think it was a mana mule gun. I think there was something about it. Maybe scan or something. Anyways, we're going to be seeing the Hellions is going to come over to the left hand side. It's going to be seeing the push still coming over to the right. It's going to be seeing the tanks go siege up again. I mean, Vipers have been rebuilt. Vikings are looking for them. Obviously, wanting to pick them off nice and quickly. This base, looking as though it might go down. All the army here from Cham is in the center of the map. KeeN is pulling back to sit defensively with a lot of units. You're going to find a full mid-map as KeeN's still pushing forwards. He takes down this hatchery. He'll take down this one too. And here we go. Let's see how this little bit of a push is going to go. The Vipers taking a bit of a beating from the fours initially. Abducts will come in, and that's going to drag the fours into a bit of an awkward spot. Pulling up towards the plantry to stay very safe. KeeN still have a good position on the right-hand side. We've seen to the south, this IC going to be cancelled once again. Being punished for building his command center in position there, as we're going to be seeing these ultras keep going down. So a few more ultras picked up. And again, tanks and fours are pushing forward still. 13 SCVs killed in this, and well, these tanks and fours are doing a heck of a lot. He's going to scan ahead. Honestly, I think these units are going to die very soon if these units come back home and nothing else is there to help them. So he has to try and find value sooner rather than later. KeeN is actually struggling a little bit right now. He's low on money. He doesn't have a bank like Cham does, and maybe Cham, having denied these bases in the last couple of moments, is finally finding enough damage here. There we go. We're going to see a run on in from all angles. Meets the tank line nowhere near as effective as it would be all from one position. And you're going to see those tanks getting ripped to shreds. Still kind of costly though. Flicks up one of the fours, keeps it alive. Still more units pushing forwards. The tanks will siege again. Just medevac looking for somewhere it can go safely to unload this four to do a bit more damage, picking away at an overlord here. Lifts up away from the Hydras. I like it. Nicely played by KeeN. Still another couple tanks coming through the center. The creep spread obviously gives KeeN a lot of issues because it tells Cham exactly what's going on. It tells Cham exactly where this army is at any point in time. Still tank sieged up. Some damage being done as they volley away once more. Hellions coming on over. Continue to set up right now. And, well, Ultras, Hydras, still pushing forwards. We're going to be seeing these tanks doing quite a bit of damage. I think this is just going to be it, though. KeeN does not have an economy behind this. He doesn't have the units at home to defend a follow-up. Loses this forward as well. I mean, just losing this base bottom right actually had a much larger effect than I thought it would on KeeN. What a game. What game number 6. What a game to bring us to an ace match here in this series. Cham, 100 supply up. We're going to be going to Mech Depot to wrap things up. I can't really quite believe it. This really has been one hell of a finals. Roaches, Hydras, Ultras to the right hand side, going to push on in as well. Going to be coming in to pick their way through this orbital. Orbital's going to go down. A few Hellions running by top side. They'll be dealt with pretty quickly. 8 workers is not really much of an issue for Cham at this stage. Pushes in, I mean, depots are down. Heard that one before. Pushes right on in here. Going to see these Ultras and Roaches pushing up the ramp straight into the main base. Meanwhile, the rest of the army is still over here to fight as well. And Cham is just going to destroy it. We're going to a game number 7 in this best of 7 grand final. The entire competition. Bottom left hand side. He's brought it down to the wire. 53, 52% you guys in the chat have believed in him, have dreamed of him winning this. To the bottom left hand side from OSC Elite, our red Zerg player, it is Cham. Top right, Blue Terran, KeeN. What more can we say? Crazy, crazy, crazy series here. It's been going on for 2 hours already, going into game number 7, and this is going to be the one to decide who takes the WardiTV America's Open. What a competition, and not just every, not just back and forth on each map. it is actually, every map is so close between them as well. Some great games. Hard to tell who's going to win into the latter stages, and we've seen some great turnarounds in general too. A crazy, crazy game, a series so far. I mean, we couldn't really ask for much more in terms of the finals. Pool first here from KeeN, from Cham, sorry. We'll be getting a couple of lings across to be annoying, forcing the Reaper to pull back home nice and quickly. You're going to see this Reaper coming in here, and we'll be able to start poking his way through a couple of Zerglings. More lings coming in here, and obviously just hunting down that SCV. We'll be trying to get the kill. 2 Marines as well now. Oh, he nearly blows up the nearly blows up the SCV. SCV, no, you didn't deserve this. Oh my god. Oh my god, the SCV has to run again. We'll survive. 6 more lings though, by the way. This ling speed is really huge. So what he's going to try and do is he's really going to try and basically cancel this CC. I love the fact there's already extra SCVs coming down to this low ground. A Cyclone as well. Oh, what a great read here by KeeN. It's actually the first time I've ever seen someone properly hold this without actually getting kind of the CC cancelled. Brilliantly done. It looks simple, but actually the fact he built the Cyclone is a huge deal here. The extra Marines as well helps him to survive, helps him to keep the CC alive. I mean, another couple of seconds, the SCV building it dies. Then the lings surround, for example, if there's not enough units here, and then the CC never finishes, you have to cancel. Another depot coming down at the front. Lings from Cham will run forwards once again. Guys, I just want to say, just as... do we have a moment to talk? Cham, please, are you going to do something? Guys, just want to say, last chance really for you guys to support on the Matcherino page as well. Exclamation mark Matcher in the chat. All your donations go to the prize pool, to the players. And honestly, I think these players deserve a lot of support for the great series they've been giving us today, especially this finals. If you want to support it, is exclamation mark Matcherino. If you had $1, $2, $5, $10, 2,000, I mean 2,000 would be pretty ridiculous, but any of it helps. It all goes a long way, and the players are really appreciative of anything. As you do see this attack, I really like this attack, honestly, that's coming in from KeeN. He's in a really good position as he's going to send Hellions across the map. The Armory's coming up. He's got a Cyclone to back this up. Marines, a Liberator. This is going to be very powerful. Ling's coming across. Cham says, you know what, I know your weakness. I know you don't like Warlocks. He's coming across with these Zerglings, but man, has he got some damage to do. There's a Spine and a Spore building here. The Spine building towards the back, the Spore at the front. That will actually help out quite heavily against this Liberator, perhaps, and the Medevac too. You're going to see some drones starting to get roasted here. Queen's going to be under fire as well. Some Ling's going to run in as these Hellbats not going to have Medevac support due to the Spore Crawler. The Liberator sieges up and will start to help out. I think Cham has just about found a way to hold this off. Meanwhile, the 8-lings do get shut down over here. Only 3 SCVs killed. At the same time, there's only 2 drones killed. As you can see, the Liberator gets a Queen kill. Nicely done. And will actually get away alive as well. Can harass another day. Going to be seeing this Medevac and the Cyclone pulling back up towards the upper right-hand side. Zerglings of Cham going to be moving out here to try and do a little bit more, perhaps. Trying to run and hit a couple more of these mineral lines. Cyclone is going to pick away at a couple of these Zerglings here. Liberator pushing forwards. We'll push that Overlord away to the right-hand side. You're going to see the Cyclone going to be repaired up as well. A couple of SCVs doing their job right now. Plus 1 weapons. Combat shields coming through. I don't believe KeeN's going to end this series on a 2 base all in. No free CC. 5 racks, 1 engineering bay. He's just going to keep on making Hellions as well. You know, Hellions to kind of morph into Hellbats to power up his attack. Well, the upgrades it is going to be from Cham. I mean, that's a nice sign from KeeN, going for a Hellbat base, 2 base all in. Generally, you don't want to be playing against Roaches, so you'll be dreaming of the Ling Bane coming out here. As we are going to be seeing these few Zerglings coming in over to the left-hand side. Combat shields, plus 1 attack. Setting on up. Getting ready to go. Again, just further upgrades for the Terran player to, well, We know how it works, the better his position in this game. Ling's going to be setting up as well from Cham. You can see those Hellions, the Liberators, and the Marines coming across. Another push. Yes, Tim, combat's about to finish. He won't have +1 for this attack, but obviously 1-1 won't be here for the Zerg player either. KeeN was 3-1 up in this series, remember, after some very long fought games. Can he take game number 7 to pull back from what's been a couple of losses now? Hellbat's doing a great job tanking at the front. The Marines will be starting to come in behind this. A couple more Hellbats coming through. There's still some Banes left. Cyclone also in the front, also doing a great job tanking. Oh, 4 Banelings just got used in the Cyclone. That's not pretty. 1 medevac here. Not a lot of healing, but it is some, and it is enough for now to keep the Terran player poking out the front. KeeN doing some good damage. The Queen goes down, pulls back again. Has to be careful of the Banelings especially. Target fires them down, or at least will try to. Gets 2 out of 5. 3 remain. Few more in the back as well, obviously will help the numbers, as we're going to see more Marines stimming forwards, though the Spine Crawler still being held onto, as we're going to see another nice target firing. Banelings still being targeted, very nicely done here by KeeN, and that might make the difference, as now he's going to get rid of the Spine Crawler perhaps once and for all. The Hellbat in the front, tanking damage yet again. There's not going to be the Banelings, though the Banelings get a flank. The Banelings get some damage. Hellions are pulling back, Marines are pulling back in the medevac. They need to drop out once again. There's 1 Baneling remaining. Hydras are on the way to try and help solidify this position. The +1 attack against 1-1, but KeeN still pushing forward, stimming in towards the third. He's going to grab a Hydra. Drones are being pulled in. The Hellbats are reinforcing, and Banes are being targeted down as they morph one at a time. Another stim. More drones are falling. Cham is running out of options. The Hydra's still trying to come on through here, but continuing to be killed off. Another Queen drops down, and this might be KeeN taking the victory in the WardiTV America's Open. What a way to end it. One heck of a fight for the last minute and a half or so. Wow.